There's much talk about migrants receiving rights, even rights that homegrown citizens don't have, i.e. dental benefits, and of course the use of RCMP constables as bellhops. But there's something conspicuously absent in the upcoming secretive United Nations conference called the Intergovernmental Conference to adopt the Global Compact for Safe, Orderly, and Regular Migration. Namely, what sort of numbers are we talking about here? It's a given the UN wants the developed world to operate on a proviso of open borders, but even so, when it comes to Western nations accepting migrants from afar, what do the UN poobahs deem as an acceptable number? Are we talking dozens, hundreds, thousands, hundreds of thousands, or in the case of Merkel's Germany, more than 1 million? Of course, there's quantity and then there's quality, which is to say, will there be a means test for our newly arriving migrant citizens? What if migrants believe in things like, I don't know, honor killings and polygamy and female genital mutilation and the execution of infidels? Are we supposed to turn a blind eye to that, or is it incumbent upon host countries to re-educate our new arrivals? But back to those pesky numbers. Let me ask you, would you sign a cell phone contract or a car loan or a mortgage agreement without seeing the nitty-gritty numbers? I don't think you would. Yet, what are the targets for this migrant agreement? What are the suggested quotas from the unelected, non-accountable UN bureaucrats? Well, I can't find any mention of firm or suggested numbers. Does this concern you? Sure as hell concerns me, folks. Indeed, according to a CBC report last year, Canada is set to welcome nearly 1 million immigrants over the next 3 years, or what the Trudeau Liberals call, quote, the most ambitious immigration levels in recent history, end quote. This number includes economic migrants, family reunifications, and refugees. This year's current target is 310,000. Next year it jumps to 330,000, and then 340,000 in 2020. Now the thing is, what will those numbers swell to after Justin signs off on the Migrant Compact next week in Marrakesh? How many additional refugees and asylum seekers and irregulars will the Trudeau Liberals usher in thanks to this UN directive? I'm already having a really bad feeling about this. Incidentally, the estimated number of migrants worldwide, defined as people living outside their country of birth, was 257.7 million in 2017, according to the United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs. That's about 7 times the entire population of Canada. But according to Jörg Lauber, the Swiss ambassador to the UN and co-facilitator of the Global Compact, the UN does not prescribe how states implement their objectives, and nations are free to choose how to pursue implementation. Yet, do you trust the UN? Do you trust Immigration Minister Ahmed Hussein? Do you trust Justin Trudeau? I think I just posed some rhetorical questions there. If you agree this migration pact should not be signed, please sign our petition at stopthemigrationpact.com. That's stopthemigrationpact.com. Thank you. Hey folks, as you know, I'm off to Marrakesh to cover the latest UN conference. If you can kindly help fund this mission to cover off our expenses, that would be much appreciated. After all, we want to bring you the sort of news the media party doesn't want you to know. So if you can, please make a donation at rebelun.com. That's rebelun.com. And thank you once again for your generous support.